Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of this Tamiya Brummbar build. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks again. Sorry about that. Just life and work and my back and no motivation to film anything again. Hi Riley, I knew as soon as I started this you'd come over and say hi. Anyway, we're back at the painting desk. Before we talk about the Brummbar, we'll talk about these Tamiya figures from this set. Oops. They are, without a doubt, the nicest plastic figures I've ever seen. The detail for plastic figures is pretty damn good. Yeah, they're not as crisp as resin figures, but it's pretty damn close. Hats off to Tamiya, the way they engineered these figures. Excuse me. There's hardly any cleanup of any seams. The torsos are in two pieces, and they join on the sides and around the collar. You can hardly see. Whoops. Why isn't my camera focusing? I don't know why it's not focusing. Maybe a little bit of Mr. Surfacer, but not much putty work. Well, at this figure I screwed up a little bit. There's a bit of a gap. That's my own incompetence with sanding. The legs are separate, and all the gear fits beautifully. I glued some of it on. Normally I paint all the gear off, but all the ammo belts and little pouches I glued on. I'm going to leave the arms off, and the arms fit beautifully. And they're keyed. And where is it? That's just a beautiful fit. I've had resin figures fit a lot worse than this. And the cleanup of the three figures I'm doing the three figures that are standing, took me 45 minutes for all three of them. It's taken me longer than that to clean one resin figure. So yeah, Tamiya, you did a brilliant job. The rest of the gear, the canteens, the bayonets, the entrenching tools, there's a couple other pieces that go on these, like packs and stuff. I'm going to paint them all separate. But yeah, these are beautiful figures. I highly recommend them to anybody who's looking for some figures for a vignette, a dio, whatever, or just even a standalone figure. There's three other sets that Tamiya has brought out in the last 4 or 5 years. There's a U.S. tanker set, which I'm going to get. There is a Wehrmacht tanker set, which you get 4 full figures and 4 half figures. And there's a German infantry set. If Tamiya brings out sets like these again, I may never buy another resin figure. What you pay for what you get, you can't beat it. This set cost me, I think, about 25 Canadian for 5 figures. You can't even buy a resin figure for that much. I went on Ultracast's website. They're a company local here in Ontario. They're about an hour away up in Guelph. I get a lot of my figures through him. Excuse me. One single Alpine figure is 28 bucks. A single Stalingrad figure is 29. 2 Alpine figures are 52. And 2 Stalingrad figures are 54. And then you get up into bigger sets that Stalingrad has. They're 200 bucks for, 6, 8 figures. That's crazy. I know it's more expensive to, well, maybe it's not. I don't even really know. But that 8 figure Wehrmacht set's 26 bucks. So brilliant job on Tamiya's part. So yeah, these are going to paint up really, really nice. Okay, on to the Brummbar. Here she is. She's painted. I painted it last weekend. I was gonna put 3-tone camo on it, but I couldn't be bothered. I did some chipping. I like doing the chipping first, especially when I'm doing the winter camo, because then it'll look like the chips are under the winter camo. I don't normally do a lot of chipping. I think it's overdone in a lot of cases, but I think I went a little too crazy with it on this one, but it'll be covered up with the winter camo and washes and mud and pigments and whatever, so it'll tone a lot of it down. Put the decals on. I remember to put the decals on before I did the winter camo this time. Yeah, it's just Tamiya dark yellow XF, what is it, XF60? Yeah, XF60. I primed it in Stino Res. Then once everything was done, all the decals were down, the chipping was done, I gave it a flat coat of my favorite flat varnish, Galleria, Winsor & Newton. Great stuff. Although I did notice this jar is about 4 years old, maybe. It's starting to get a little thick, so I had to thin it down a bit. But it still went on really nice. The road wheels are all painted. I got a bit of cleanup to do on the steel rim road wheels because the mask I used, there's no real ridge for the mask to butt up against, so it kind of slid around a bit, but that's no big deal. They're all going to get hairspray and chipping done. The Scherzen, oops, shit, there we go. I primed them first in an etching auto primer because I keep forgetting every time I'm at the hobby shop or the gaming shop where I get a lot of my paint to pick up that, I think it's Mr. Surfacer metal primer. Jeff Donahue recommended it in one of his videos. I only painted the one side, the front. I'm not going to bother painting the back, but I'll weather them up really nice. Did some chipping on that, or before I did that, before I even primed them, I went nuts with an old X-Acto blade and just started punching some holes in it and denting it and bending up the corners and stuff. So those are ready to go. What else? Spare tracks are done. I just dry brushed Viejo, or no, Reaper gunmetal over flat black. Excuse me. I'm going to give them a wash and then maybe highlight the high spots with some printer's ink or something. They're done. The muffler, I still got a little bit more work to do on it with some pigments, but I gave it a spray, or I textured it first with some Mr. Surfacer, and then I sprayed it with Tamiya Hull Red, and then I gave it a bunch of pigments, and then I masked it off to spray these support brackets and chip them up a little bit. And yeah, the jack isn't the jack from the kit. It's from the spares. The jack from the kit, when I was dry brushing it, the crank handle broke off and vanished. So luckily I had this one in the spares. Tools are done. They were easy, just gunmetal dry brushed over flat black. And the toe eyes are done. A little bit more work to do on them. I got to add a little bit of bare steel. But that's done. What else? Oh, in my last video, I showed you a Panzer turret that I was going to have blown off. I'm going to use a Sherman turret instead. This is from that Dio I never finished. Yeah, it's already weathered up. I got a bit more work to do to it, but other than that, oh, a couple of weeks ago, oh, shit. That's why I write myself notes so I forget what I was going to say. Bending these brackets up wasn't as much of a pain in the ass as I thought it was going to be. It was actually quite enjoyable. Not very many swears there, Zinzan. And I used the AK Black Widow Black CA to glue them down. And what I did to keep everything even was I took, where is it? A steel ruler. And I laid the Scherzen down on my bench and just lined it up. And then I taped it down so it wouldn't move. Easy enough. I just wanted to make sure everything stayed nice and even, so nothing was crooked. So yeah. So a couple weeks ago, like I was going to say, I went on Amazon and bought these rubber tip tweezers. Really good. I should have bought them a long time ago because I was having a bit of trouble with some of bracket pieces, because the tweezers I got don't hold shit. Everything just kept plinking off. So these came in kind of handy. Speaking of photo etch, when I was attempting to build a Dragon SU-100, it had a lot of real fiddly pieces of photo etch, and I had a hard time figuring out how to hold them to sand the nibs off. Hi, Riley. You're back again. So what I was looking at this, and I thought, well, it's designed this way for a reason. So I don't have a piece of photo etch. I got a piece of plastic card here. So what I did is I took the photo etch and I put it in here in the side, lined it up, held it down like that, made it easy enough to sand off the sprue nib. I don't know if that's a thing. I've never seen anybody do it in a video before. But yeah, it made things a hell of a lot easier. And yeah, so that's it. That helped a lot. What else? Oh, right. I bought a foam, hot wire foam cutter off of Facebook Marketplace. Picked it up yesterday on Saturday. This is November 19th today. Got it home and realized there was a part missing. So I contacted the girl I bought it off of. I only paid $50 for it. And she apologized. She didn't realize there was a part missing off of it. So she's going to look for it, and if she can find it, she'll send it to me. She lives a couple hours away. Or about an hour away, actually. So if she can't find it, no big deal. All that part is the arm across the top. Hi, Riley. It's got I don't know what you want to call it. It's got a little spool of the wire, but it needs something to help stabilize it. So the piece that is missing is a piece that goes on the end where the wire goes down and goes down to the base. I got no way to stabilize it right now. So if she can't find it, I'll just drill a hole through the arm and put an eye bolt in with a couple of nuts. That'll work. So anyway, another short update. Next time you see this, I may do a little bit of demoing how I do the hairspray technique. We'll see. We'll see how motivated I am. So anyway, guys, thanks very much. Thanks to my new subscribers and my old. I'm up to a crack 250, which surprised me. You guys are great. Like I always say, you're the reason I do what I do. And thanks for all the comments. And we'll see you all soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.